Welcome to another episode. Last time I had you on was episode 8.
Yep, Kobe Bryant.
So, Kobe Bryant, and today we're episode 23.
Yeah, I was wearing the LeBron James on that episode too.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
Jordan was LeBron's number 2, so
I like LeBron more too. So it's
I mean, you can see my Marvel poster.
we assembled.
This is going to
for this.
have a lot of spoilers, so if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, please
You gotta go see it.
go see it and then come back to this video.
Spoilers drop on Monday. It's fair game. If you don't watch it on the weekend,
Yeah.
then you never cared about these movies in the first place.
Oh, I tried buying
Get your shit together. Get your shit together. You're a fake fan. Go watch it.
This shit broke the Star Wars record for opening weekend.
I know
That's crazy.
Star Wars is still the king.
What was your favorite part about the movie?
My favorite part was the final battle. That shit was just too epic. Like, it's like how you were saying earlier, like about it being like kind of like how Ready Player One just had all kinds of like shit we love from pop culture, like Chucky, Ninja Turtles, like Joker, the Transform or Gundam, Prize, Mecca Godzilla. Like it was like that, but this is like movies that, like clearly, I mean that movie didn't have the impact that these movies have. These are like cultural. Like these are gonna be remembered forever.
We've never seen this before. We've never seen.
Like put it this way.
It's basically like a series.
Yeah,
You're
but-
watching a TV show, but they're like blockbuster movies.
Back in the days, like there's classic movies, like you got The Godfather, and some of them got sequels, like Godfather. Star Wars has sequels. Now it's got like 9 sequels. So like it's kind of like think about it, like E.T., Jaws. It's all singular movies, but it's just like build up, and it's like expanded. It's gonna be like remembered as like all time. It's classics. Like it doesn't have to even have the quality of a Godfather. It's just
They're entertaining in their own way. They have the Marvel formula. Like they have this specific formula. They do take risks, but then they have like huge plans for these risks, and that's what I like about the MCU because they don't just kill off a character. Like, for example, Batman v Superman, and I feel like they didn't. They have so much mess over there, but this one, like, they didn't really rush anything. Everything was like, I'm gonna establish this character, and he ties into the story because I'm gonna establish this character, or like sequels like Ragnarok. We already seen some Thor movies, but now it's like a completely different thing. Like now he's no longer a god; he has to work himself as like a slave and come back. You know, like
it had a lot to do with growth. Talk about the Hulk's growth or lack thereof. It's like his brain got bigger, but his balls got smaller. They took away the Hulk's powers. Like it made like some of their lesser movies, like ones that don't feel as talked about. Like I love Doctor.
Yeah.
That movie was dope, but a lot of people like don't really talk about it enough. I feel like
Doctor.
they made it one of the most important. It made like that scene with the ancient one.
Yeah.
Called shit. It made that movie like seem more important.
I really love that part too because it was such an important scene where she's like, "Oh, I can't give you this. There's no way I'll give you this time stone." And then he's like, "Oh, but I guess Doctor Strange was wrong or something." He's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Yeah, he told me."
Oh yeah. That's like I was wrong.
It's like, no, he's supposed to be the greatest one of us. You know, like that was so cool.
Yeah, great. It was a great moment. It made the Doctor Strange movie feel a lot more important to me too. Thor: The Dark World, the scene with his mom, like just everything that happened.
That's
right
what's so cool about the movie that we dive into these specific movies.
Because those are movies people don't talk about. And like Thor 2 gets like the worst rep of all the MCU movies, but now it's like
everyone's gonna go watch it.
Its place is important.
Everyone's gonna go watch all these movies.
And low key, that's gonna make people forget that it's a bad movie. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's not. It's clearly like.
So this movie, I did have some problems with this movie. One, like you said, is the Hulk. Oh my god,
he's one of my favorite comic book characters all time. I started the first Avengers movie. I went with Zamarippa. I had the Hulk hands and I had a Hulk mask on. He was like the focal point of the shirt I was wearing. It was like the Avengers shirt, and like now it'd be like weird to wear him because he feels like a loser.
No, but
and it's not even about being smart. Like that's cool.
No, like
all about that.
The whole point of the Hulk is Hulk smash. Like that's what everybody loves. Hulk smash. Like you said, the introduction to him in Avengers 2012.
Yes, he was the MVP.
When he's like, "Oh, the secret is that I'm always angry," and then he turns around, turns into the Hulk, and then punches that
it
fucking
felt
shit.
like the Hulk.
That was such a badass moment.
Showed how strong he was.
Puny god, and he just smacking Loki around like the Hulk moments.
Yeah, because people forget Loki is also a god.
Or even the fight against the Hulkbuster.
Or then he went up and punched Ultron in the face and like fucking
exactly
Santa.
Hulk moments, bro. Like these last 3 movies, they just like been diminishing his character, and I really thought
like Ragnarok set up his build to what he is now.
And the last one, Infinity, where you have the Hulk, they turn him into like, oh, a useless character, whatever. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, in this one, they're gonna redeem his character, and he's gonna like get his powers back and be badass.
That's why I wasn't even mad at what happened in Infinity War. I was like, nah, because they're setting it up for like Hulk needed this ass whooping to like he's gotta be afraid so he can have his Rocky 3 moment against Clubber Lang. You know?
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
They used his brain. So in this one, they had him being like the technical guy, setting everything up. And he did have the moment where he snapped everybody back. But still, that's not a Hulk moment. That was just, there's a gauntlet and I'll put it on because I have the gamma radiation.
Yeah.
So another thing that I like the consistency with the whole snapping of the finger. Like, I don't care about the snapping of the finger, but the device. Like, Thanos had to go to a fucking place where they build shit out of planets to make like this gauntlet with these giant doors. Like that was a whole part of the plot for the last movie. They're like, you know what, Stark Technology can do the same shit.
Yeah.
And like, what do you mean? Like,
but it's
like the power of a star.
He did create a new element though, so maybe he's smart enough. But I don't know. I feel like maybe the resources we have on Earth. Time travel is really hard to write about.
No, I think they did like one of the best jobs you could ever do with time travel. Like they knew that they couldn't take themselves serious. That's why they made jokes about it too.
Yeah.
To kind of tell the audience like, oh yeah, it's like those. Don't even think about it. That's just I think Hulk said that.
That's what I was telling somebody. I forget who I was talking to, but I said I wish the movie would just do that. Like, don't even try to explain the science of the time travel. You know, just be like, hey, we know how to time travel.
Well, that's what Deadpool does. Like breaking the fourth wall. You tell the audience like, oh yeah, we're just doing this. And this movie did a lot. Like they a lot of references to Back to the Future, just talking shit about it. And Hot Time Machine. That shit was funny. The Big Lebowski with Thor.
Like Fat Thor. I just add in. I feel it.
I saw a tweet that said it's gonna open up a lot of possibilities for cosplay players because now like big chubby guys who just dress as Thor. You don't look like Thor. You can't just walk around without your shirt. You know, like
you don't even gotta be fat. Like take a pillow. Just.
Yeah, so now it's just up in the can of worms, but that's pretty cool. So in the last movie, Thanos, he was fighting them like at the end of Infinity War. He had I think 4 or 5 of the stones.
But before he finally got the one that was in Vision's head, or he was fighting Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and then he dropped the 5th one in there. The 6th one was in Vision's head.
Yeah, so he had like 4 or 5 stones at that point. Yeah. He's fighting Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and these guys.
Yeah, he got the 5th one.
So he's like it's been a good fight, like there's a good like 10-minute fight, like he's winning, they're winning, whatever. With 4 stones. So you're saying like he's not that strong then, because even with 4 stones, he's barely keeping up with these guys. So now in this movie,
he was just fucking
with no stones, and he's fucking everybody up, including Thor, that got way stronger because now he has 2 hammers.
Yeah.
Captain America fucking wielding a hammer, fucking summoning lightning and shit. Captain Marvel, like she's super strong. She was also fighting. So this guy was keeping up with 4 stones in the last movie, and this one he's kicking their ass with no stones. Like how strong is he? You know, like that's the only
thing. See, and I've known him to be like he's that strong without the stones. Infinity War kind of like I thought of that a little bit too. I was like he could do a lot more with the stones that he has. Like, kind of his thing in the comic books is like he's his own downfall all the time.
He was so much better in this one too, because the last one I think they were building up to the Gamora sacrifice, like making him seem like a nice guy, like he was doing it for the right reasons, even though they were doing bad things, build that relationship. So they made him a little softer.
Yeah.
And in this one, even the beginning of Thanos, he was a little soft. It's like, oh, you know what? I had to destroy him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And someone said that shit looked like Shrek as well, because he's on the swamp and shit.
Like when he watched his own death through Nebula's memories.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like smiling and he was like, destiny fulfilled. Whatever he said.
Yeah, like, I'm an inevitable.
Oh, I know. That's trying to snap. It kind of felt like a Dragon Ball Z type thing where like he's kicking ass and then like he stops to talk to them so that somebody could come attack him from behind with a chair. That's just what it felt like. I'm like, I get it. He drops like super dope quotes. But, like it just feels like I want to see him just kicking ass. Like, don't even have to talk. Like, people know what he's about. Yeah. He dropped all his good quotes. Destiny still arrives. That's the best shit I've ever seen. Like not ever in like movie history, but like in the MCUs, like all the superhero movies.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Return of the King. Like how you were saying, the final battle and the Return of the King, it was always like on the 2 towers when it's like, oh, look to the east and shit, and then Gandalf shows up with the army and they come
and then they just start running down there.
Or you saw on the last movie, Return of the King, where they're about to die, like they're breaking into the city, and then you just hear the Rohan, the horn, and it's like 10,000 horses or 6,000 horses and then they come rushing in. Like
Yeah.
this one's like, oh cool, this freaking Doctor Strange brings up Black Panther,
Yeah.
and then everybody from 20 movies all collectively in that Ready Player One style fight or
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings final battle scene. Like everybody you knew and loved for 20 movies showed up,
And then the build to Spider-Man
which
finally
was like
showing
this.
up. It was a lot like this.
Literally all the like characters all together. This is literally the final scene, and
Yep. Even Cap right there in the front.
Cap, Spider-Man, you have
I
Iron
wish
Man,
I wish Miles Morales was in it.
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this.
This Hulk wasn't in it.
Oh no, for sure.
I mean, I agree with what you were saying about like it wasn't natural. Like in Infinity War, when Okoye, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch are right there and they're fighting, like it built to that
It
moment.
was a whole scene.
Yeah, and it was bad. Like it felt so like it was its own thing. Like it built to it, but it felt like it wasn't shoehorned in. Like
yeah, like even
and it showed their strengths. Like it
even in this movie, you're trying to show them being strong and powerful. You have the option of doing it like that, and that scene was like 3 females fighting.
Yeah.
Or what you did in this movie, where you show how badass and strong Captain Marvel is.
Yeah.
She's just like super
Took that
strong. She tries to headbutt. She's super strong. She's fast.
Yeah.
Or even the scene with
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch was like about to kill Thanos. You know, like
Scarlet Witch is one of my favorites.
You're showing them being badass, strong women. Like that's how you show them. It's so unnecessary to do that scene.
She
like,
was,
you know what?
Scarlet Witch was whipping his ass.
She's about to kill him.
And she destroyed an Infinity Stone like easy.
She's about
to
kill him.
Remember he said he was trying to destroy the Infinity Stones in the beginning of this movie, and so he was weak when Thor chopped his head off. He's like it almost killed him to destroy the stone. And I was like, she just destroyed it like nothing.
Like so,
yeah,
she's
super powerful.
She's super dope. And like I'm saying, like
Black Widow's had a whole series of movies to show how dope she is.
Yeah, she's been since Iron Man 2 showing badass.
Yeah,
like,
even her sacrifice at the end was
pretty cool. I liked
it.
I liked it. Like she was like, you know what, I'm out.
But instead, it's like no disrespect to Mantis, like who had her moments in other movies, like Guardians, where she's keeping when she's keeping Thanos asleep.
Yeah, like she had
but like the Quill's dad, Star-Lord's dad.
Oh yeah,
he's like a celestial being, and she was keeping him asleep for a little bit. Like so, I'm like she had her moments.
Everybody's
too.
had their moments. Yeah, like Potts having another moment.
But I don't mind it because it's women. Like I would have felt the same way if that was like the dudes just came down and did it.
Stood there waited for every shot.
Yeah,
like go.
I guess somebody might say, well, they had the Avengers Assemble moment where Cap got to say that, but I'm like, that's historically he says that, but also the women were all in.
This movie did a lot of fan service. I think maybe that was like,
you need that. You need that in a closure. You're like
some people say that they didn't take enough risks for having everything be a happy ending.
Yeah, but for an ending, I believe great movies have great endings. Like you know how much I love No Country for Old Men. And the ending makes perfect sense, but that's not an ending I'm going to remember forever. That's the only thing I have against that movie. It's like a perfect movie. Besides, the ending is just like like I said, it makes the perfect sense. But when I lived in Baltimore, some guy told me I don't watch movies that are like real life. I only watch like science, like sci-fi shit. He's like, because I watch movies to like escape. I live real life. Like I don't want to watch it. Like I'm not gonna pay to watch it.
So a lot of people do that.
Like when I think about what made me love movies in the first place, like stuff that was out of the ordinary, like E.T. or Jurassic Park, just a bunch of like Star Wars, a bunch of stuff like that. And this movie had that kind of ending that would have fit a movie of those calibers.
You want some water, bro?
Get emotional. Nah, my throat's all dry.
No, but I get what you're saying. A lot of people that I know still, like, they only watch blockbusters. They don't go to movies for any movie besides, like, either a superhero movie or, like, a Fast and Furious movie, like, those type of movies. And I feel like most people do that, too.
But for movies like this, like, it's the perfect ending because it did have sadness, though. You lose the guy who's basically set off, like, without, like, even though Iron Man's not my favorite character, without him, like that was a risk just putting that movie out. Like people don't care about Iron Man like that before that movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marvel was bankrupt. They sold their characters. X-Men was popular. Spider-Man was popular. Captain America and all them weren't popular. Hulk was popular, but he's still kind of owned by Universal.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't got no more solo movies. So you lose that guy. You lose the guy that is responsible for all of this blowing up. It's sad. And then you lose Black Widow, who was there from like the beginning as well. It had all the happy shit because you watch movies like this for the happy shit. You don't want it to end like depressing, like the heroes completely lose. That's something you leave for like the middle movie. That's Infinity War. Like it sets up the
next
the corny happy, like the heroes win.
But there was really no sacrifice because even though Tony Stark died, he got to live 5 years a happy life with his family that he always like wanted.
Yeah.
He settled down, retired. Like it's still sad, but
yeah.
At least he got that ending, and then he sacrificed himself. The one that started it all. Like,
hey, you asked me if I was crying earlier. I didn't cry. That like I was like, oh man, was the part where Jon Favreau, he is talking to the daughter, Tony's daughter, and he's like, what do you want to eat? She's like, cheeseburgers, and he's like, oh, because like remember like he came out the cave and that was the first thing he said.
Yeah,
cheeseburgers. Like, oh man.
No, they brought everything back. Like this, they literally said we're gonna bring scenes from these movies. Just what do you think about Steve Rogers?
People always wanted him to get that last dance, so I get it. It's emotional. It gives him the opportunity to pass the shield on.
Were you surprised that they chose Falcon instead of Bucky?
Even though like he's like the current captain in the comics.
Yeah.
Like, I still think, I thought they were going with Bucky because the Winter Soldier, they had him where he held the shield and everything. And I'm like, okay, that's the guy. Plus, I think he had like, I don't know how many picture deals he has now, but there's a point where he had like 11 left. So I'm like, they're going to make this dude like the face.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch about Falcon with the shield. That's going to
be... and I wonder if they'll trust, like, because I don't have nothing against Anthony.
So who's going to be like the next big bad guy out of Warlock?
I don't know, honestly. I'm hoping it's Galactus.
Who's Galactus?
From Fantastic Four. He's he's the one that's Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
like his Herald or whatever like that. Because he's like another big threat. Like he eats planets. So, God damn man, he eats planets.
I just can't wait for more movies to come out. But I hope they stick more of a smaller scale. Like
that's what I'm thinking. Like
every superhero movie, like it's always the world ending. You gotta stop this or the world ends. Like it could just be a controlled you were talking about earlier, you really like Logan because it's kind of like its own little story.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, it's its own little story.
It takes place in Gotham.
Yeah,
it's not on a grand scale.
It's never about the bomb going off. You know, it's just like
outside government. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises, the government had to get involved.
That one they wanted to, it was a nuke was going to go off. So it's also like, Dark Knight, it was just about the character. It was about Joker and him corrupting.
It was mental. Yeah, like I don't think they even have to build on anything. Honestly, what would be dope is if they build 2 Avengers versus the X-Men. Because they've done that before. That would and then that could set up like a whole like Galactus comes after that. They have so much potential, but that could take even longer than this did.
How long the contracts are for the Fox people? Like, because Jennifer Lawrence is huge now. Like when she started.
But I don't want them to bring over. I trust them to cast all new people. If they don't want to cast me, they can cast Hugh Jackman again because I know he said he'd come back. For that, do a Hulk versus Wolverine movie. I don't think they would, but like,
dude, how sick
that would be sick. Yeah, like the animated Hulk versus Wolverine.
Fucking Hulk is not just all political.
Oh yeah,
I mean not scientific.
People are sleeping. Pikachu is gonna make like
because all the kids know Pokemon. Like,
like not even just all the kids. Like people our age. We grew up with it.
Well, people our age have kids now too, and they're like watching movie sites. I know we haven't had any kids. Like people our age already have like 7 kids. We're all throwing shade.
Sorry guys, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, we're not meaning it in a bad way.
You guys have your go watch Detective. I'm jealous. I don't have no kids to go watch Pikachu.
Like Alex always tells me that I need a son or a daughter because I play with Suki like she was a little kid. Pikachu might get to 2 billion, bro.
It's possible.
It's possible because everybody knows Pokemon. Like everybody plays the games. Kids still play on Wii. Play them.
Yeah. People in high school, middle school, like in today, people in between our age.
Game Boys, like they have so much, and even the craze that was last 2-3 years ago with just Pokemon Go. How big that got.
I still play it. I just caught an Entei. I did. I caught a shiny Lugia. It's my shit's red. I got a Charizard finally. Yeah.
I wish I would have kept playing, but I remember my phone didn't work. Like it stopped working.
Yeah.
Because my GPS was all messed up, and then when I got a new phone, I don't think I downloaded the game. It kind of like slowly died off. Yeah. But that month when it was popular, was the best. Yeah. That was probably like the best thing that's ever happened when it comes to like like a community event.
Yeah,
Like
my brother said that's the closest we've ever been to world peace. He thinks
it really is. Everybody was at the park. Old people, young people.
Do you remember when we were at the park and the cop showed up? He's like, "What are you guys doing out here?" And we're like, "We're just playing some Pokemon."
I know.
And when we told him like that the Snorlax just popped up, and then he went back to his car after we left, like, and our lures ran out. He took off too.
No, yeah,
He was playing Pokemon too. Everybody
like,
was.
That dude was like, "Why are these people walking around?" Because we were by the La Quinta Library, saw like random people walking around.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's like sneaking or some shit. We're like, "No, we're playing the game." Me and my friend Christian drove all the way to Los Angeles just to catch Charmanders.
Really?
There's a Charmander nest like
okay.
at one of the like museums
Yeah.
in LA. So we were just doing laps around the museum. Fucking Charmander here. Boom.
So you had a Charizard?
I have a Charizard.
I just barely got. I had to
Christian
walk.
was working
too.
on a second Charizard because we caught Charmander. Played, so it's still pretty dope.
It's dope.
Are
They
you guys
added.
still playing Pokemon Go? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I want a Mewtwo, but they always do like they added a bunch of stuff that should have been.
How do you
in
get
the
like
beginning.
Mew and Mewtwo's on that? I haven't played.
They added stuff called field research. You complete little stuff throughout the day. It could be like make 5 great throws, hit 10 Pokestops, but you build them up throughout the week, and it'll give you a sticker. Like at the end, that's how I caught my Lugia. Like you get a special package, and it could be like something that's not that rare. It could be legendaries. They added that. And it gives you like objectives to do. That kind of makes it fun. But they also added like battle your friends. You could add people. You could trade now. So like
You have to be next to them or just on.
to trade at least.
How are the battles?
But you could send gifts to people too.
Is it still the same thing where you just gotta dodge and stuff?
Yeah, dodge and hit and all stuff. But they added these things called raids, where it's like it'll be an egg and it'll tell you like in an hour a raid will start, and the raid will be like an hour long, and you can jump in and people from other teams can all combine. It makes like these Pokemon like super strong, but then you could like beat them and then they shrink and you get a chance to catch them after you beat them. So like I got a Raichu that he's like floating on his tail and shit like that. But they added like some other like legendaries. Like that's how you could catch like Zapdos and Articuno.
Oh, the legendary.
Yeah, so it was like stuff like that. They had a Mewtwo like that for a little bit, but I wasn't playing at the time, and I didn't have no strong Pokemon that could beat him at the time. It's like now, like if Mewtwo comes out, fuck him up. I'm gonna bring a team.
That sounds so cool. Like
Yeah. There's groups now too. Like they tell people where it's at. One of the steps for my Mew. Like at the end, like I get a chance to catch him with my field research. I had to catch a Ditto, and he could be anything. Like he could be any like these certain Pokemon. And so basically, it might cut into Avengers numbers a little bit.
No, like you were saying, the power of Pokemon is so crazy. Like
It's
trading
it's
cards. It's a huge trading card game.
It's everything.
Video games for so many systems, handheld,
Yeah.
passives.
They got Pokemon pajamas.
Yeah, the Pokemon Snap on Nintendo 64. You gotta
Dude.
get that photo and
Classic.
making them jump by throwing like shit into the
Classic.
water. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I love those games.
Yeah. Or when you could do like did you ever get Gyarados in Pokemon Snap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gyarados.
Where you had to knock like the Magikarp into a
And then
Mankey or something.
Kuno or somebody like a molten like rocket and make them come out of the
Yeah,
the volcano
it's
or something.
Moltres.
Moltres.
Yeah, you throw something in and then it like pops into the volcano.
That was so.
Or when you hit like throw something at Charmeleon and he falls into the thing and then Charizard comes up in that
Oh yeah,
little bit.
yeah. To get
I love that
photo.
game.
That photo, that game was so cool. Pokemon Stadium. Yeah, my favorite one was the eating contest,
Oh yeah, lick your tongue, just
and then you get the Chile one, and he's
and the guy was like, "Himokwai!" Like I just don't know what the fuck he said.
Those
He's
games were
like,
so-
"Woo!"
Dude, I
Making all these
remember
weird noises.
battling and getting to the Elite Four was super hard. Like,
Yeah.
the Elite Four was so hard.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that if you beat them, like you get like Mewtwo comes out at the end. I like how they added that you could like put your Game Boy game into the PS4 and get your Pokemon in there. So if you had Mewtwo, he would be in the game. Like if you,
Yeah.
But I never did that.
Like, it's,
So many missed opportunities.
yeah, like I like the way like Nintendo just integrates all their systems.
Timeless. Nintendo's
They're
timeless.
so good. I mean, they own Mario, which is probably like the highest selling game ever. And even those Wii Sports games were super popular, bro. Oh yeah, you want to work out while playing video games?
Parents were playing it. Old people
Yeah.
were bowling, golfing. Shout out Nintendo.
I haven't bought any Nintendo.
I'm gonna
systems.
support Detective Pikachu. No, I want the Switch though, because you can play in your car. Like,
Yeah, the Switch.
I'm gonna be on one of them long drives,
while driving.
just playing Mario Kart.
Or on Tesla, drive so.
Oh,
Tesla.
yeah.
Just
Shout out to Tesla.
Mexican-
Nintendo and Tesla
Mexicans
should
got a
collaborate. Haven't?
Mexican.
Yeah, Miguel.
Yeah, he
Good.
just got a Tesla.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Living the dream. Shout out, Miguel.
He's always doing cool little pictures and videos that, like, if he watches this, that's what
Yeah, that shit's dope.
Back to Infinity War.
Yeah.
I'm in Back to Endgame. I want to watch it one more time because I love watching it when it's like a full theater. Like it's just a different experience.
It is. That is like the first Avengers, like even more than Force Awakens. Like, and everybody knows how much I love Star Wars. It's my secret. It's tattooed. First Avengers is like the best theater experience I had. There were people like this before you could reserve seats. Remember? Like,
yeah.
But like you just had to first come, first serve. There were people sitting on the steps, like going up, and just people standing up and cheering. Like I don't know, you're high fiving people you don't know.
No, and that was too pre the Dark Knight Rises shooting, where you could actually wear masks and wear anything you wanted.
Yeah.
So after Colorado shooting in the movie theater, they're like, you can't wear masks, you can't bring like fake like props and shit. So like they became more strict, so people stopped kind of going all out like back then. And then like you said, it was so many like incredible moments. Like now, kind of got spoiled because since 2012, they're probably I don't know how many movies it's been. Like all these like DC movies, all these X-Men movies. Yeah. It's just so much wow moments that
right
superhero
now, fatigue is real. Like
it is real.
There's movies
I still watch them all.
There's movies I choose to skip in theaters though. Like
I haven't even seen Shazam, and I've been wanting to see Shazam. It's just that
that's probably something I'm gonna be watching now.
So back then, we were still kind of like new to here is the first like team up one. So every moment, it was just everyone was going hard, bro. It was crazy.
Because even the build up to that first Avengers felt like forever. Like with the first Iron Man.
It's like, we can't wait for them to all be in the same movie, and now we're like, we can't wait to have 300 characters.
That scene where it was like when they went back to the battle of New York, where they did the circle from the first Avengers movie, where like Black Widow's loading up the gun, and Hulk is screaming. That shit brought those old feelings back. Like I remember sitting in that seat, just fucking. After we got out of class, we went straight out of there, like to after Gladys's class.
Oh really?
Me and Sam Ripa.
I remember the midnight screening. It glitched in the middle of the screen. Like it glitched for like 1 minute or like 30 seconds, and it kind of just kept going. But on the way out, somebody complained. I don't know who did. They gave us free movie tickets for everybody there. So
I just go watch it again.
We didn't miss anything. We literally it just froze for 30 seconds and then continued. Mm-hmm. So they gave us free movie tickets for the entire freaking thing. So
did you go see it again?
I went to see it again. Like
same night?
Not the same night.
Oh, fuck, my throat's all dry.
But I had like a morning class, and I used to live like 30 minutes away from college to my school, so I didn't want to. I never drove back. I always stayed until practice because I had practice at 3. For football practice, I had like a huge gap, and I went to the movies like matinee like at 12 to watch Avengers by myself, and I just went by myself. I was just watching it there like fucking eating popcorn. I mean, I feel like I went with Izzy, but I'm not sure.
I remember we went with Izzy. Me and Zamaripa went like 3 times.
I saw it like 3 or 4 times. I went twice. I went midnight premiere.
I feel you.
And I think I went with my brother or my family just to see it with them because they wanted to see it. I'm down to see it too.
It was an event. Look at what it led to. So it's all just
fucking dope.
I love that. That's probably another thing that's like my favorite part of this was like even though all these people showed up, like it was very much the original 6 movie.
Yes, this movie was focused just on those guys.
Yeah, they all
Black Widow.
She didn't get the happy ending.
Yeah,
I mean,
like you were saying.
I honestly think. Like I don't know. To me, like she could have held Thor's hammer. I think she could. She's done it in the comic books, but I feel like I don't know. Like the sacrifice was worthy. I know people would have got mad just because she's the chick.
They focus on Tony Stark, on Steve Rogers, like they were kind of like the focal point. You have all these new characters. They kill half of them off, but now it's still kind of them the whole time.
Yeah. Focus on like Iron Man, It's like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Hawkeye. I was gonna call him the Incredible Hack.
And I just like Pussy Thor, who was just like Pussy Hulk. The original, like I like how they went with Thor over the last like 4 or 5 years, where he started off as this like one punch, like I don't know what that means, like this like goofy guy, but now he's just a cool character, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, it's like the role is more Chris Hemsworth now, like he's more in it, like the shows. He's not like some badly written, corny. Need a horse, or like I don't know. In the first movie, that's what like when they find out like it's the hammer's in another state. He's all, I need a horse, then I will walk. Like, why does he need a horse? Is the hammer what makes him fly, or can he fly without it? How do you need a horse for? Do you even ride horses in Asgard? Why? You have the hammer all the time. Like I don't know.
He was too
just
corny.
Sucked.
Now he's just a real character.
Yeah, now he's better. I like Fat Thor. Gave him like I don't know. Like he's been through some shit now.
Character. He went from killing freaking Thanos, and everyone died because of his failure. Like the speech by the mom, and like him trying to get back into being a leader. And now he's like, you know what? I'll be second fiddle in the ship. And then I was like, you know, everybody knows. That scene was so funny, bro. It was literally like Return of the King of the Lord of the Rings, where everyone got like a closure. Because on the other one, you have the closure of like the Fellowship, and you have Frodo leaving, then you have the closure of Sam, the closure of Aragorn.
Even like the Hawkeye or Ronin, well, he was badass when he was taking out the Triad. Like his little closer with Scarlet Witch, because in Age of Ultron, that's who got her to go out the door. So you leave that door, or you go out that door, you're an Avenger. So like they got their little moment at the end there. That was cool. He made it.
Yeah, they brought so many amazing that. Like, just made this movie so good. Even though it was 3 hours, it went like this. It was so. It went
I disagree. I'm just kidding. For like really? The final battle makes everything worth it. So I give it some slack because, like, if I'm tired during the movie at all, like I don't care. I'm like, that final battle is just sick. Spider-Man with the instant kill mode with the fucking 6 arms just stabbing all those aliens.
That was sick.
But like, I don't know, like the time travel stuff and like all the scenes in between, like they're important. Like they tell the story, but like it's just.
It's because the first hour, it was just 3 different paces. Like the first hour was what happened after Thanos killed everybody. So it was super somber. The tones were really dark. Everything was sad. People were like PTSD, like Thor, he went through like some shit. Then you had Black Widow just like fucking out of it, like she was still kind of trying to cope with that.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man, you have him like go in a whole different way, like kind of ignore everything and just build a family. So you have all that going on. And then after the first hour, then it's like, oh, we're gonna go on this mission. However, that part was cool for me because like we were talking about going into the old movies and the old scenes and integrating different angles and touching moments like Tony Stark talking to his dad. That was
gave us more story.
That was the second hour, and then the final hour was just like crazy battling. So it was a little long. For me, I really liked the pacing. I also didn't like the beginning of where comes back 5 years later and Steve Rogers is doing like therapy sessions.
Yeah.
I didn't
care for that scene.
I didn't like it because instead of doing that, like they should have just cut to him trying to like stop like bank robbers or something. Kind of like they're just regular heroes trying to help the.
That scene was just not good.
One more thing though, and remember in the other planet where Gamora was from, remember Thanos said as soon as they wiped 50%, like it was the most prosperous times they've ever had. There was resources and all this shit.
Yeah.
Because like even if today 50% of people die, I feel like 5 years from now everything will be running pretty smoothly, just no traffic.
You're not wrong, but I know.
Imagine how good LA traffic would be if 50% of the population got snapped out right now. Like, bro, we could go to LA and back in like 1 hour and 40 minutes. Like that'd be crazy. The lines at the supermarket.
See, you're not wrong. It's just the how we would get there. Kind of got a real Make America Great type thing. It would have been great, like the day of the snap.
Make America Great.
The day of the snap, America just runs smoothly, like you said. 40 minutes to LA.
Yeah, no traffic, bro. 50% no traffic.
New Disneyland tickets price would go down. Like.
Yeah, so those were some of the complaints. But overall, like this movie was fucking badass. Like it was way better than I expected. Like to be honest, I didn't watch any trailers. I watched the first teaser trailer.
Yeah,
I've been avoiding trailers for every movie now because remember when I was doing like first reactions and I was always keeping up with the trailers for the movie reviews.
Yeah.
I stopped because I don't know if you've noticed this trend where they just spoil everything.
The thing I have heard people say was all the trailer stuff for this movie was pretty much everything that happened in like the first 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everything that happened in the first 15 minutes is what happened in the trailer. Because it was like Tony Stark in space.
Most of it was from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
It was that like somber, like, oh, we just lost what we're going to do type. Like,
yeah.
But like the Thor, they kept all that in check.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is the scene where like when they're all like marching to go do like the quantum realm thing. The trailer, I guess Thor was in shape. But in the movie, he's fat.
Oh, really?
So,
they had two takes.
Yeah, I was like, that's...
So overall, if you haven't seen it, or if you're watching this, you've seen it, let us know your rating.
Oh,
and
how would you rank it?
How will you rank this movie? Let us know your Marvel cinema. Okay, that's a lot of movies. So just give me your top
the
5
Avengers movies.
The top 5 Marvel movies. Let us know in the comments. What are your top 5 Marvel movies, just in general, or whatever order you guys want. 5. Just 22 is way too much to rank. But the top 5, for the same reason we're talking about how we weren't really used to comic book movies or team up movies and all that shit. For me, Avengers is still the number 1.
Yeah.
Just because of, like you said, those experiences we had at the theater, the first time watching everyone come together, the Hulk smash, like it was just such a good movie.
But also, like, it didn't feel like none of it dragged. It felt like it was the perfect length.
It was dope because every scene was like,
stakes.
oh, this character, this character, this character. The scenes were moving fast.
Yeah. And then it even had, like, even though it got, like, messed up in the end, like, later on down the line, it had, like, the death felt important. Of like Coulson, like that's what brought them together. So yeah, Avengers, I agree with you, but I'll let you finish your list.
Yeah, I like Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll make my top 5. I don't know in what order, but for sure Guardians of the Galaxy, for sure Avengers. I like Iron Man, but I don't know.
First one.
I would never just go watch Iron Man. Like, I don't think I would go back. So I don't. A lot of people have that one as like one of their favorites, but I'm not gonna go watch that one. I could watch Infinity War. Like, I'd probably put Infinity War. This one, to be honest, it could make it like maybe this one or Civil War or Black Panther, but I have to watch this movie one more time. I don't even know how many I've said. Okay, so Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War. I like Black Panther. It's a little overrated too, but it's pretty good. And then Guardians, but I also like Civil War. I think I'll pick Guardians. Civil War's not in my top 5.
Yeah.
I'm not.
In no order. Avengers, the first one. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. Infinity War. I love the team ups. I'm a sucker for that shit.
Yeah.
That shit was just hype. That's what all the movies were built.
That Age of Ultron, that one's kind of trash.
Yeah, no, that
That one, it just came in.
Infinity War. I want to say Winter Soldier, but I might not say Winter Soldier. Avengers. Infinity War. Damn, that's tough. I want to say Spider-Man, Homecoming.
Oh, that one was
I love Spider-Man. So what have I said? I've said 4, right? Avengers, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Infinity War. I'll probably throw Endgame in there, just off the final battle alone, being like that's my favorite. That's my favorite MCU moment of all time. Was just that whole last hour. That was like everything. I'll go with that. Plus, I'm a Scarlet Witch fan.
That's our podcast episode with Mills, talking about Pokemon Go and Avengers and
Pokemon Go is the shit.
Whatever else we're talking about. So let us know in the comments your top 5 Marvel movies, and let us know who do you think is gonna be the next villain for the Marvel franchise. Like, who's gonna be the main one that everyone has to like fight? Because that's gonna be another dope.
Doctor Doom.
We'll see. Or
okay,
I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and give it a like. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, give it a 5-star rating. You guys know what to do. Mills, thank you for coming on
all the time.
Another episode, number 23. We'll probably get you what's another legendary, number 32 or something.
Well, I don't know. Michael Jordan came back wearing 45, so maybe episode 45.
We'll come back for episode 45. Feature Mike Mills teaser. So thank you guys.